Welcome back to ISLAMTV254 channel, bringing to you a documentary about Uganda as a country. Most people didn't know about Uganda, and Uganda is a country that was ruled by 80 presidents before the man called Museven came into power. The first president or the first ruler of Uganda was Sir Edward Mutesa II, who ruled between 1962 to 1966, which he covered. Uganda's first president here was known also the Kabaka of Buganda. He ruled for only 4 years. Then he was put down and he was overthrown later by the second man called Milton Obote. This man who took over Uganda from 1966 to 1971, making it a one term of 5 years ahead, and later on overthrew Mutesa and centralized the power. Brutality. That is Milton Obote. He was centralized power. So the third president of Uganda is Idi Amin Dada, who took over the reign from 1971 to 1979. He took it for 8 years, very good years, 8 years. But he seized the power in a military coup and ruled with brutality so much. So majority of the people who doesn't know Milton Obote, Idi Amin Dada was a Ugandan military officer and a dictator also, who ruled Uganda from 1971 to 1979. His regime was infamous for human rights abuses, mass killings, and economic decline. However, people have also got another good side of him, but this is what we get from the documentaries over this field marshal Idi Amin Dada. So, other life and military career. This is Idi Amin Dada was born 1924, and some people also say 1925 in Koboko, according to the history. So he joined the King's African Rifles, that's the British Colonial Army, in 1946. That is as an assistant cook. Quickly rose through the ranks and participated in British military operations, including the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya. That's Idi Amin Dada. Rising to power, Idi Amin Dada became the Chief of Army and Air Force in 1966 under President Milton Obote. And in 1971, he led the military coup. That is Milton Obote overthrowing Idi Amin Dada, overthrowing Obote and declaring himself as the president of Uganda. That is Idi Amin Dada, raised to power. Majority of the people have known Idi Amin Dada as a brutal rule and policies, but I know some people also have got their good side of it. But Idi Amin Dada expelled Uganda's Asian population in 1972, leading to economic collapse, and also ordered the killing of political opponents with estimates of 100,000 to 500,000 deaths. That is Idi Amin Dada. That is the year 1972. Many people lost their lives over that time, but later he shifted alliances from Western nation to Libya. That is also took to Zaire, which is the present time in Congo or Zambia over that time, and the Soviet Union. Also he shifted those alliances from Western nations to Libya, Zaire, and Soviet Union. Idi Amin Dada declared himself field marshal and life president in 1976. This is what we get from Idi Amin Dada. So after declaring he's the field marshal and life president in 1976, here comes the downfall and exile. Uganda lost the Uganda-Tanzania war in 1979, and in fact this war that was between Uganda and Tanzania in 1979 made many people also to die over this side. Also, after that, Idi Amin fled to Arabia, then Saudi Arabia, where he lived for the rest of his life until his death. And that is the year 2003 is when Field Marshal Idi Amin Dada died. So the fourth president of Uganda is Yusuf Kilonde. This was the Muslim man, Yusuf Kilonde Rule, who joined in April to June, that is 1979, after Idi Amin Dada had made the parallels in Uganda, and when they lost the war in Tanzania, then this became a chance for Yusuf Kilonde Rule to briefly rule Uganda after Amin's fall, and that is the fourth president of Uganda. The fifth president of Uganda is called Godfrey Lokongwa Binaisa. That one is one who took one from 1979 to 1980. He took over but was later removed on. He only ruled for 1 year. And then later he was overthrown by a man called Paulo Mwanga, who took on the month of May 1980. And served for only 10 days. This is the man who served for 10 days in Uganda as the president. Later he was also overthrown by Apollo Milton Obote II. Now Obote II comes in after 1966 to 1971. Now Obote comes in the second term to rule Uganda in 1980 to 1985. These are the most serving presidents. Like you see, he turned Uganda in the other side of ruling for 5 years. Then later he came also ruled for 5 years. So he returned it to power, but was overthrown again by a man called Tito Okello Lutwa, who took on from 1985 to 1986. So led a transitional government before Museven took over. So this where comes in now the ninth president of the Uganda, who is now battling the people and also taking people into slavery, and who has made people to live a life like they are not in the country, as we have seen in many scenarios, and that is Museven. That is when he came in 1986. 1986. So 1986 is when the man called Museven